This video will show you how to replace the vibration dampener on a GMC Sierra 2500 with a 6-liter engine. This will be located along the bottom front of your engine, but accessed from underneath the vehicle. Let's get into it. A quick note about doing this job: you're going to need a serpentine belt tool. It will be good to have one that you can set at a specific angle. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Make sure your engine's cool to the touch. We're going to be working along the front of the engine here. We obviously want to be careful around the fan. As you make your way down along the front of the engine, we can see the serpentine belt. We have to remove that by making our way to the serpentine belt tensioner. Go ahead and take a quick note of your serpentine belt routing. Now for this, I'm going to be using my serpentine belt tool. You can use a 15mm adapter or a wrench as necessary. We're on the serpentine belt tensioner, and now I'm pivoting this clockwise. This is releasing tension from my serpentine belt. While I hold this down, I'm being extremely careful for any pinch points as I remove the serpentine belt. You can dislodge this from anywhere. I like to go from along the top of the alternator. Let's go ahead and release tension in this area. Let's get the tool off of here. We can fully remove that serpentine belt. Now that we've removed that serpentine belt, let's make our way safely under the front of the vehicle. To remove the front splash shield, you're going to find that you have 5 15mm headed mounting bolts holding it in place. Go ahead and remove all 5 of them. While we remove our final mounting bolt, of course, we're holding onto that shield. There it is, friend. A quick inspection and we'll set that aside. Now that we have the shield out of the way, we can see deep inside this area we have our AC belt and our harmonic balancer. Let's start removing that AC belt next. Now as we look up in this area, if you focus in the center of our harmonic balancer, we can see our 24mm mounting bolt. We're going to be using a socket on this so we can turn the harmonic balancer and the crankshaft clockwise. As we do this, I want to use a pry bar. I'm going to gently start pulling this belt off of the AC compressor pulley next. Okay, this is looking good. Remove that AC belt. We'll give this a quick inspection and we'll set it aside. And there it is, friend. Now we can start removing our 24mm mounting bolt. Go ahead and remove that mounting bolt. We'll give it a thorough inspection. Make sure it's not rotted and weak. Now, if you were looking in the center of the harmonic balancer where we just removed the mounting bolt, we can see our crankshaft. We have to remove the harmonic balancer from this, so for this, we're going to have to use a removal tool. Since we are going to be pressing up against our crankshaft, we want to make sure we're not causing any damage. My tool has a small adapter that slides in the center. Now that I have that adapter in place, I'm just going to bring my tool in there as well. Now that we have the bolts out of there, we're going to continue on with our harmonic balancer tool. These will come in all different shapes and sizes. The first thing you need to do is have your adapter. That adapter is going to slide straight into the crankshaft. Now after that, you're going to have your harmonic balancer tool. It has 3 ears. They're going to have to grab on the inside of the harmonic balancer. It's a little difficult to see on this one. I'll show you on the new one. Now as you look at the harmonic balancer, we're coming in through each one of these 3 slots. I'll turn this around. In this area, you can see exactly where those ears will have to grab onto. Now that you know what's going on, let's go ahead and start installing that tool. Get our tool here. Now it's a tight area, but we have to hold all three of the ears up against the harmonic balancer as we continue on tightening our driver. The driver itself is going to go over the adapter. Now I've got my tool in place. I'm going to start tightening the center driver. That's going to start pulling the harmonic balancer away from the engine and that crankshaft. We'll make any adjustments to the tool as necessary as we continue. Now, as you can tell, the harmonic balancer and crankshaft want to turn as I continue on, so I'm using a wrench to hold my harmonic balancer tool in place. There we are, that's the sound we're looking for. If you look deep inside this area, you can tell that it has broken free. Let's continue on here. Okay, this feels like it's getting loose now. There we are. Now we should be able to take hold of that harmonic balancer and remove it from the engine. There it is, friend. Prior to installation of any brand new part, of course, we need to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. The first area that we'll focus on is our crankshaft here. This is completely smooth all the way around. You want to confirm there's no debris or burrs. Aside from that, we also have our crankshaft seal. That's the circular area along here. You want to make sure it's soft and pliable, not torn, worn, or damaged. If you do happen to see any oil coming down this area, it means you have a seal leak, and now's a perfect time to go ahead and replace it. Ours is not leaking, so we're just going to clean it up and give it a thorough inspection. For this, I'm using a clean rag. We don't need any type of detergents necessarily. Definitely nothing that's going to make its way into the engine. Just double check that shaft to make sure there's no burrs that could cause an issue. Now it's time to install the brand new harmonic balancer. For this, the first thing you need to do is lubricate along the outer area here and the inner portion with some clean motor oil. That's going to help make this slide into place easier. Let's go ahead and bring this up so it's close to being in position here. That should rest in position. Of course, we do have to continue pressing this towards the engine. This is going to need to be done with a specialty tool. Now I have my balancer installation tool. It has a bearing on it here. We're going to continue on. We have the proper shaft that's going to go directly in here. It's going to screw in until it's bottomed out. After that, we're going to take the bearing side of this tool, press it up against the harmonic balancer, and continue driving the balancer in towards the engine. It's important to make sure you bottom this out. For my tool in particular, I'm using a 10mm for the end of the shaft. We just want to make sure that this is snug. We don't want to strip anything out. Now that we have the center shaft snug on the crankshaft itself, we can continue on with this nut portion. This is going to press that bearing directly up against the harmonic balancer. Now continuing on, we're going to have to hold the outer portion of the shaft while we continue turning the nut portion of our tool. We're turning this clockwise, driving this in. Now I'm using an adjustable wrench for this. We're turning this clockwise. Now I can feel as though I have this bottomed out up against the engine. I'm going to take a peek along the backside here. We want to make sure it's as close as possible. We can't have this out in any way. That does look good. I'm just going to double check to make sure it's properly in there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Oh, that feels good. Now at this point, we can remove our tool. Now the next step in the procedure would be to install a brand new crankshaft bolt. Once you do install the new bolt, you'd want to go ahead and torque that to 110 foot-pounds. After that, loosen it 360 degrees, essentially a full turn. Once you have it loosened to that amount, you're going to retighten it and then torque it to 59 foot-pounds. After you have it torqued to 59 foot-pounds, we have to continue tightening it an additional 125 degrees. Now I do not have a brand new bolt, so I'm going to tighten my original bolt and I'm going to be using my 1/2-inch air gun. I want to make sure it's nice and snug. If you're using your original bolt, you don't have to go through that torque sequence. The bolt will stretch and it could break over time. Double check to ensure your harmonic balancer is properly secured to your engine. Now it's time to install our AC belt. To install this belt, we're going to carefully put it over our harmonic balancer first. Once we have it rested in position along the ribbed area on the harmonic balancer, we're going to continue on towards that AC compressor pulley. I can see that I'm in the grooves as I need to be on the harmonic balancer. Let's make our way over towards the AC compressor. Now at this point, we're going to have to carefully start stretching the belt over the AC compressor pulley and get it in position. It needs to be seated properly. Now at this point, I'm going to be taking my pry bar, holding my AC belt up against my compressor pulley. I'm going to be using my 24mm so I can start turning my crankshaft clockwise. We never want to turn counterclockwise on this. Now we can install our AC belt. As far as the AC belt, we're going to go around our harmonic balancer. We want to make sure we're properly in each one of our grooves on the inner side here. After we make our way around that, we also have to start making our way towards the AC compressor. We're going to be starting the belt along the bottom side of the compressor. We're going to press it up against the compressor pulley with our pry bar, and I'm going to be turning my 24mm bolt and the crankshaft clockwise, bringing the belt into the proper position. Start getting the belt on here. You can see that I am in my grooves. We don't want to be off a tooth or anything like that. That can cause damage, just to say. Make sure that stays where it needs to be. Now before we go too far here, we want to double check to make sure we are actually going in on the AC compressor where it needs to be. But you also want to feel up along the top of the harmonic balancer, confirming the belt is seating properly along there as well. Okay, I feel as though I've got it in the grooves. I'm just going to carefully feel around this area. Double check to make sure it's seated on each and every one of the pulleys. It's good habit to turn the crank pulley several times, confirming it does not fall out of place. We're going to do this clockwise. Okay. Now this is exactly what we wanted to see. As we made our way around, the belt did not fall out of place. It's where it needs to be. Now one last quick inspection in this area, and we can reinstall our front engine splash shield. Now before we install our shield, let's just make sure we clean and inspect our mounting areas. We'll start up along the top area here. Just give it a quick wipe. I can see my threaded area looks good. We'll use a little bit of copper anti-seize in those ports. Now we're making our way down towards the frame of the vehicle here. We have our next two mounting points. Now that I have my shield in place, we'll start in all 5 of our mounting bolts. Once they're all started in, we can snug them up. Double check to confirm that's properly secured in place, and we can make our way out from under the front of the vehicle. Now it's time to install our serpentine belt. Now when I bring my serpentine belt into the engine compartment, I'm going along the passenger side of my fan pulley first. This is also the water pump pulley. I'm going all the way down to the bottom, to where our crank pulley is. That's the lowest pulley. We need to try to get this around here. Now you can try to reach from the top like I am. You can also carefully make your way under the front of the vehicle. There's going to be a shield there, but you can make your way around it without removing it typically. Now at this point, we're going to take the backing of the belt and we're going to go around the water pump smooth pulley. After I make my way around that, I'm going around my power steering pump down along the bottom driver's side. And now we can carefully start bringing this up towards the alternator. We're not putting it on the alternator. This is going to be the last pulley. Now let's focus on the other side of the belt. For this, we're going to go straight up from that harmonic balancer or crank pulley up to our tensioner pulley. Let's try to see if I can reach through this side. This is looking good. Now after you make your way around the top of that tensioner, the smooth side of the belt is going to go underneath our idler pulley. Now we're at the point where we can reinstall our serpentine belt tool, and we're going to put the belt on the alternator. Okay. Now at this point, I want you to have a look up along the top of the alternator here. You can tell that the belt is not properly seated. If you were to start the engine with the belt in this position, you're going to cause damage to the belt and potentially other items. Double check each and every one of the pulleys. Make our adjustment here. Check that tensioner. And then of course the crank all the way down at the bottom. That feels good. We can remove our tool. Adapter off of there. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. The next thing you need to do is make your way into the passenger compartment. You're going to start the vehicle, let it run for 5 seconds, and turn it right back off. After that, make your way back out here. You're going to triple check the belt on each and every one of the pulleys to confirm it's properly installed. Aside from that, you can close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.